Hi, I'm Jason Smith with International Fertility Insurance. I'm excited to introduce you to our insurance solutions for surrogacy and egg donation. IFI collaborates with more than 100 insurance companies to find cost-saving options for you. We offer a variety of insurances including egg donation complications, surrogate IVF complications, surrogate life and disability insurance, surrogate maternity, newborn, and more. We're excited to meet you and see how our products and services can best fit your needs. This video focuses on our IFI Surrogacy Maternity Plan. This overview will cover the basics of the coverage, and our team will provide accompanying information as well as custom pricing. This policy is most likely a fit for you if you have one of the following reasons. 1. The surrogate's insurance is not expected to cover a surrogate pregnancy effectively due to exclusions or added liens. A lien is an amount that's often equal to the amount that the surrogate is being paid to be a surrogate. 2. It's not the right time to get a typical U.S. health insurance plan, which is often called ACA or Obamacare. ACA stands for Affordable Care Act. There's usually a specific time that those plans are available, and perhaps you're outside of that window. Or 3, your support team tried to find an ACA plan during that time, but there was not one that didn't exclude surrogacy or had liens. This plan is a variation of a plan that's been available for many years. However, many people thought that plan was very expensive. In 2019, we came up with an innovative way to reduce the costs while still having the same coverage from the same strong insurance company. This plan is a professionally managed plan that has no network restrictions and great benefits in timing as well. So how does it work? How can IFI offer the same great coverage at commonly a lower cost? Well, here's how it works. First, you request what is called a maternity cost estimate. This is custom built with your doctor and hospital of choice. We'll also ask if this plan is for a vaginal birth or a C-section, and then we price it accordingly, though the plan works even if this changes. Next, we return this estimate, this maternity cost estimate, to you for review. It will list out common aspects of an uncomplicated pregnancy. Some examples might include routine lab work, obstetrician fees, routine ultrasounds, MFM visit, which is the maternal fetal medicine specialist, hospital fees, anesthesia, and perhaps more. Later, I'll explain how this works if the pregnancy was complicated, meaning unexpected medical issues arose. If the estimate is defined as high cost, we will offer to do another estimate with a new doctor and new hospital if you choose to aim to reduce the costs. If the estimate meets your needs, the next step is to underwrite the surrogate. A list or explanation of this will be provided in accompanying materials or by the IFI team. At this point, a deductible will be set. A deductible is the term used to describe the amount of medical bills you pay before the insurance company starts to pay. Some countries might call this excess or franchise. The next step is to collect the remainder of the fees. The accompanying information or the quote will outline the timing. These fees will help cover the underwriting cost, the medical billing management, and a down payment to the insurance company to secure the right to make a claim later if needed if the pregnancy were to become complicated or expensive. Remember, this is just part of the overall insurance fee. The remainder would be needed were there to be a big medical bill. I'll explain that later in this video. We will also at this point collect the amount suggested in the maternity cost estimate. These funds will be held in escrow to pay for the cost of an uncomplicated pregnancy. This is all professionally managed. Now let's examine some scenarios of how this can happen if it is or is not such an easy pregnancy. I'm not including pricing in this video in case it changes. However, you'll have accompanying slides that will have more detail. Scenario A. The maternity cost estimate is too high and the intended parents don't move forward, or there's no confirmation of pregnancy. The overall cost would just be the small initial payment to do the research. Scenario B. The maternity cost estimate was more than the actual cost. In this case, we'll return any excess that was collected. Scenario C. The maternity cost estimate is the actual result. The initial cost and the maternity estimate wind up being correct. The plan went perfectly. Scenario D, the maternity cost estimate was collected and the actual amount is higher due to minor needs that arose. For example, an unscheduled C-section or a minor complication. If the minor complications do not exceed the deductible, we will need to collect the extra amount to pay that bill. As a reminder, you are responsible for the amount up to the deductible, and we would commonly collect less than the deductible initially as we were expecting an uncomplicated pregnancy. Finally, scenario E, major complications arise. We would need to collect whatever is needed to reach the deductible, as well as the remainder to activate the insurance policy. Examples of these costs will be found in the accompanying materials. I have to pause here to stress the value of the medical billing management aspect of this service. If you're not from the United States, then you have likely never experienced a medical claim here. You can't imagine the complexity of our healthcare billing. I have been through 2 pregnancies before, personally, long before I started this company, and I can just say that each time, the stacks of bills just grew and grew on my kitchen counter and were very overwhelming. When I opened them, I was very confused. IFI will take all that stress away and manage the billing, evaluating each bill for proper coding to avoid excessive billing, double charges, and more. The next step, if all goes well, is the delivery. If there's anything extra that was paid, it's returned to you. The accompanying materials will explain the process of underwriting and the policy exclusions. I'd also like to tell you about what we call the Bridge the Gap variation. Many use this policy to bridge the gap until open enrollment for Affordable Care Act plans exists. If a more favorable ACA plan exists and the case moves forward, we'll return any extra escrowed funds, or we have programs to help find the ACA plan and continue to manage the medical bills. See the accompanying materials for costs and details. There are features to this coverage that could change over time. Any new information will be provided by the accompanying materials.